NBC 15 News at 11 starts now.
Now at 11, an explosion at an industrial park in Milwaukee, and now a hazmat team is monitoring the air quality in the neighborhood because of the chemicals at the plant. Plus, a man who is suspected of several murders may have admitted to it on camera in an HBO special. More on real estate heir Robert Durst. And for the first time, the UW Badgers are a #1 seed. Find out their chances of making it to the Final Four. Hello and good morning, everyone. I'm Christine Belport. Ashley is off. Well, for the first time since October, we will be in the 70s today. With more on how long that might last, let's go now to Brian. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Christine. Well, it's not going to last a whole lot longer. Today will be the warmest day of the entire week, but it's going to be pretty nice outside in terms of those temperatures. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of sunshine at the moment, but we will see a little bit more as we head into the afternoon. We are already nearing the 60-degree mark in Madison. It's 62 in Lone Rock and 63 right now as you head towards Milwaukee. Winds are out of the south and west, only around 5 to 10 miles an hour right now. Look for these to increase into the 25-mile-an-hour range as we work through the afternoon and evening. As for those temperatures, absolutely into the 70s. By 4 o'clock, look for a temperature of 71, 72 by 6. Thereafter, though, a cold front will push through the area, bringing a chance of some sprinkles and eventually some colder air just in time for St. Patrick's Day. We'll talk about that and your full forecast. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. Christine?
Thanks, Brian. New at 11. Exploding propane tank sent flames shooting into the air in Milwaukee. Firefighters doused the flames at this industrial park this morning, and billowing black smoke could be seen for miles around as the fire burned at Acme Galvanizing.
It went boom, boom, like a cannon. It shook those windows over there. It was that bad out here. Well, when we pulled up here, it was a small fire, and all of a sudden, it just blew up, and it shook the car windows, and my wife said, let's go from here. She was getting scared, and I said, no, let's call 911, stay on the line with them, because if somebody could be getting hurt or something over there.
Well, thankfully, no one was hurt, but a hazmat team is there now and monitoring the air quality in the neighborhood because of the chemicals there. No word yet on what caused the original fire. In our continuing coverage now, the Badger men's basketball team has earned a #1 seed for the first time in program history. They used the win over Michigan State in the Big Ten tournament to secure the top spot in the West region. They'll play #16 seed Coastal Carolina in their first round matchup. That'll happen Friday in Omaha, Nebraska. Bo Ryan said, though, yesterday's game was great preparation for the tournament.
That was a high-level NCAA tournament game right there, if you ask me, as far as the crowd, the intensity, swings, up and down. So for us to get that one and get the #1 seed, these guys are extremely proud to represent the university that way.
Now, some of the teams that could pose a challenge for our Badgers in the West region are Arizona and North Carolina. And then many are predicting and actually hoping the UW will advance to meet Kentucky in the Final Four. Now, the Badgers' big win means some new apparel is rolling out. Madison Top Company was hard at work this morning printing these Big Ten tournament champion shirts. You may recognize them from yesterday as the Badger men were wearing them in the locker room and, in fact, right on the court after the game. You can get your hands on one at the many Badger apparel stores in the area. Now, many of you are filling out your brackets, and how good are you at that? How about taking on our sports director, Rob Vogel? If you make your basketball picks and you do better than Rob, you could win a lot of food, and there are prizes after each round to go along with the grand prize. Go to NBC15.com to make selections for the round of 64 games. Enter your picks, though. You have to do it before tip-off Thursday. You can find our basketball bracket challenge at NBC15.com under the contest tab, and that's right near the top of our homepage. And now to a Crime Tracker 15 report. A 27-year-old man was injured in a fight involving a gun outside a Madison restaurant. Authorities say 2 men were involved in a fight early yesterday morning at JD's Soul Food. The fight then moved outside and a gun was fired. Now, an officer who heard the shot arrived at the scene and found the man with minor injuries. He went to the hospital. Police believe the men knew each other. An investigation is underway after a fire on Madison's east side. Crews were called to an apartment building on Hoover Drive around 3:45 yesterday afternoon. Firefighters were able to attack the fire from a first-floor apartment before it could spread. At least one person jumped from the building to escape, though no one was hurt. Making news today around the nation. The man accused of shooting 2 police officers in Ferguson, Missouri, was in court today for the very first time. NBC's Jay Gray has the latest.
The blast of gunfire just after midnight last Wednesday scattered the crowd outside the Ferguson Police Department.
Shots fired, officer down.
2 officers wounded, and police say it was this man, 20-year-old Jeffrey Williams, who pulled the trigger.
He is now charged with 2 counts of assault in the first degree for the 2 police officers who were shot.
Investigators say Williams has admitted to firing the shots, but says he wasn't targeting police.
The evidence developed at this point, and in part on his statement, that he may have had a dispute with some other individuals or felt some dispute. It's possible at this point that he was firing shots at someone other than the police, but struck the police officers.
Protesters initially blamed the attack on an outside agitator, but police say Williams was a part of their march.
He is a demonstrator. He was out there earlier that evening as part of the demonstration.
Demonstrations that have continued without incident despite renewed tensions and anger here. Jay Gray, NBC News, Ferguson.
Now, many of the demonstrators immediately condemned the shooting when they happened and applauded the arrest of Williams, saying their issue is not with the officers, but with the system. Heavy rains and high winds caused havoc in Portland, Oregon yesterday. Strong winds damaged many structures in the city's downtown area. Dozens of trees were uprooted by the winds, including one that even fell onto a car with a woman inside. Firefighters had to cut the vehicle open to rescue the woman from that car. Amazingly, though, she was not hurt. And now to the latest twist in the life of Robert Durst. Durst, a member of the wealthy New York real estate family and subject of the HBO series The Jinx, will face a murder charge that dates back 15 years. NBC's Stephanie Gosk reports.
71-year-old Robert Durst is back behind bars this morning, arrested in New Orleans over the weekend in connection to the December 2000 murder of longtime friend Susan Berman. Durst is the subject of the HBO documentary The Jinx.
Did not tell the whole truth. Nobody tells the whole truth.
The series re-examines 3 crimes: the 1982 disappearance of his wife, Kathy Durst, a 2001 murder in Texas for which he stood trial and was acquitted.
Durst, not guilty.
And the murder he was arrested for late Saturday. The show's finale aired Sunday night, just hours after news of Durst's arrest became public. In it, Durst is confronted with a potentially damning piece of evidence that could tie his handwriting to a note sent by the presumed killer.
Definitely wrote this, but I definitely did not write that.
Durst then goes into a bathroom with his microphone still on.
It is. You're caught.
And begins talking to himself.
What the hell did I do? Kill them all. Of course.
Former prosecutor Janine Pirro investigated Durst back in 2000 during the time of Berman's murder.
Susan Berman was killed because she knew too much about Kathleen Durst, the case that I was investigating, and he knew that she knew. I believe that he murdered her to prevent her from talking to us.
Kathleen Durst's friends feel one step closer to justice.
If he's convicted for the murder of Susan, I'll take what I can get. If there's more forensic evidence there, why not? You only can put him away once.
While Durst's estranged brother expressed his family's thanks. We are relieved and also grateful to everyone who assisted in the arrest of Robert Durst. We hope he will finally be held accountable for all he has done.
Wow, that was Stephanie Gosk reporting.